see what's going on.
Well, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxshare, on the show this evening is our Billy, Jaffa, and the legend that is the Bridgeman. Evening, Billy.
Good evening, Ox. Good evening, Jaffa. Good evening, Bridgeman. Evening, all the Rangers supporters out there listening in.
Evening, Jaffa boy.
Evening, Ox. How you doing, mate? How you doing, Billy? And how you doing, Bridge? Looking forward to a more upbeat show tonight.
Here. How are you, Bridge?
Oh, excellent, pal. Thank you very much. Can I just say a good evening to everybody on the panel, your techie guys in the background, and yourself, of course, and good friends there, Billy and Jaffa. Hope you carry me through it. To all the Rangers fans sitting there, listening in here all over the world. Good evening, and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Yes, good to have you on. Yeah, we'll come to the match in a minute. We mentioned the passing of Jim Forrest shortly after the passing of Ronnie McKinnon. We're losing a few legends, Jaffa, but Jim Forrest, what a goal scorer for such a young man to be with he is there.
Oh,
when he was with our club.
He was a brilliant goal scorer, Ox, and a fan's favourite during his period. In fact, he was my father's favourite player growing up in the 60s and 70s and going to watch the Rangers. Absolutely brilliant player, brilliant goal scorer. He wore the jersey with absolute pride, and he was just one of us and lived his dream. Great footballer and a great man by all accounts. Never had the pleasure of meeting him, Ox, but heard from other people that have met him and said he was an absolute gentleman. Humble. So all my thoughts go to Jim's family and friends at this very, very sad time.
Yeah, 146 goals, Billy, and 166 appearances. And in the 146 goals, there's only 2 penalty kicks, mate.
That is absolutely incredible, isn't it? What a record they scoring goals that is. Firstly and foremost, Ox, I'd like to pass on my condolences to Jimmy's family at this sad time on behalf of, I'm sure, all the boys in the Rangers Radio, the background team, everyone else connected with the show. I'm sure we all share the same thoughts. But regarding his football ability, what a football player. I mean, he was just before my time. I was born in the late 60s, Ox, so I never seen him playing, but I seen clips of him on YouTube type thing and videos and that, and he was just a proper Rangers number 9, a classy finisher. He made some brilliant you watch some of the runs that strikers make today, and then you watch some of the runs that Jimmy made, and it's a different ball game completely. He was a phenomenal football player, classy. That's the highest compliment I could give him, and his goals record was just out of this world. Different class.
All right. Made his debut, Bridgeman, as an 18-year-old in 56 days. And it nearly took him a year, well, the best part of a year before he scored his first goal was against Celtic in a 3-0 victory away in a League Cup tie in 1963. That's his first full season, Bridgeman, yeah. And that full season, you remember, you're talking about a boy, 18, 19-year-old, playing against household names, and a lot of the teams in Scotland, Hibs, Hearts, them, Kilmarnock, a lot of teams are decent players, yeah. Good in Scottish football, was arguably at his finest, Bridge. In his first season, 39 appearances, 39 goals.
He was a scoring machine. I mean, he's my favourite Rangers centre forward of the era, most assuredly. Probably the best centre forward in the UK. On his day. What a great player for us, great scorer for us, and I think he was done badly by the club. But like the rest of the guys, condolences to his family and friends. It was a wonderful start for Rangers. Shone bright, and it was a big challenge in his early career when they were taking on Morton, who were flying high, 100 points in the league that season. And I think it was a League Cup final, and he scored 4 goals, 3 or 4 goals. Unbelievable stuff, And Morton was put to the sword by Jim Forrest. Seriously, fantastic player. Great player for us. His cousin Alec Willoughby, also a smashing player for Rangers. Not so much a star, but Forrest was a star for us. No doubt about it.
As a young man, Jeff, the following season, he started 50 games and only managed the 56 goals, Jeff. Oh, we lost Jaffa. He's on mute. 50 starts, 56 goals, Jaffa.
Unbelievable, Ox. I mean, I just read that earlier today, and I found that absolutely staggering. That he scored that amount of goals in the one season. I mean, I think he's just short of a world record there. But I mean, as you say, Ox, and bearing in mind, to put that into perspective, he's only 19 at this age of his life. His short footballing career. I know. I've seen some, like Billy. I've seen some wonderful clips of him. He looks a really, really classy player. I just my dad. I remember my dad had a poster of him. And I remember my dad talking about Jimmy Forrest fondly and what a wonderful player he was. He was worth the entrance fee, Ox, in that day. And it's a sad time. But what great memories for our club with Jim Forrest.
Yeah. So his goal scoring career, 166 starts, 146 goals. Never booked, never red carded. As I think Bridge said, rightly so, Billy, we made a mistake and he was a fall guy for one bad result or a fluke result in Berwick Rangers. Him and George McLean never played for us again. And boy, did we pay a heavy price for that, mate.
Aye, that's very true, Ox. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of what actually happened, but I know reading up on a couple of things that the two of them get blamed for that loss against Berwick Rangers all the years ago. I mean, I think it's pretty strange and a wee bit bewildering that you can blame two players for a defeat in a cup tie. But obviously that's what went on away back then. You know what I mean? But that's crazy and it's sad to hear that a player with the frightening goals record, he's a great man, never kicked a ball for the great Glasgow Rangers after that, because I mean, if that's what the goals he scored then, if he could have took that on his later stages football career with Glasgow Rangers, I mean, they talk about Super Ali scoring goals. It would have been frightening to think how many goals Jimmy could have scored for Rangers if his career had lasted that wee bit longer.
Aye, arguably was at his peak, and he left us too soon. Maybe would you agree with that, Bridge? It was a mistake.
Oh, it's a huge mistake by the club, massive mistake. They didn't. I don't think the people there, John Lawrence was the chairman. I don't think he knew what he was doing, to be honest with us. Obviously, it was a night of long knives, and George McLean and Jim Forrest were the receivers of the long knives. Got cut. I wouldn't blame them for anything. I would blame. We went over there to Cup Winners' Cup final as well, and they played with half a team, if you follow what I mean. And they've done all this. They're just crazy stuff. The axing of Forrest and McLean, daft.
Yeah. Well, you hear my thoughts, Jim Forrest should be in the Rangers Hall of Fame. As I say, 166 starts, 146 goals. What a player, what a goal scorer. And he'll be sad when missed by his friends and family. And he's a big, big part of the Rangers jigsaw, Jaffa.
Yeah, absolutely, Ox. And I've heard you say that on a number of occasions about him being inserted into the Hall of Fame, and I absolutely back you up on that. I think the club should do that. And I sincerely hope the current chairman and the other guys on the board at this moment in time are absolutely getting that put in motion. Jim Forrest, with that amount of goals and that the accolades that he achieved for our club during that period and what he done for our club, he absolutely should be in the Hall of Fame. So that's something that should definitely happen. I look forward to seeing that in the coming months and if not year.
Yeah, obviously signed for Drumchapel Amateurs, Bridgeman.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he signed for the Drumchapel Amateurs. And it's maybe quite fitting in the weeks that we've lost Ronnie McKinnon as well. The guy that he started most games with was Ronnie McKinnon, who, along with Jim Forrest, they started 161 games together. You know, so these are names that are Rangers legends, and they're gone, but they'll never be forgotten. And all the best, and all our condolences, thoughts and prayers go to all the Forrest family. Right, thanks for that, boys. We move on to a game of football last night. Unfortunately, the Suns' life goes on, even with the lose greats, and I might have been maybe fitting if we'd have kept the tribute to we played Aberdeen on Saturday. Their fans would have, I'm sure, remarkably respected one of their players who played in a cup winning team for them in the 1970 Cup final. But we move on. We had a game last night. Better, Jaffa, better.
That's a word that's been bounced about my head immediately after the full-time whistle last night, Ox. It was better. It was a better, the one thing that stood out for me was it was a better attitude all round by everybody, and that started the game last night, and all the guys that come on contributed. It was a better performance, and let's hope that's the springboard, the embers of what is required as we move forward. 4 goals, some cracking work goals, Ox, some really good play on occasions. It wasn't an easy game by any. I mean, we all saw it. We've all watched it. Livingston were well in the game. It was a tough game for a wee while, but they got through it and they navigated their way through it. And for me, yep, better is the best word that can describe it.
We started the game where Billy, we looked threatening, we were moving the ball reasonably. Obviously, I think they had a game plan to sit off us and try and frustrate, keeping it tight, and hopefully maybe come into it the last maybe half an hour. But we get the goal. Good goal by Seema. Not a debate about it. I personally think it was a foul. You might have seen it different, you lads, but I think it could have been a foul, but it wasn't again, so you play on. But I'll tell you what, it was maybe very a foul, definitely very a foul, the one we get chopped off near off the same spot against that mob. So people say things even themselves out, Billy.
Ox, I thought we started the game brightly enough. I was looking for a bit of a ding-dong, to be perfectly honest, with it being a cup tie, but I agree with you. I thought Livingston sat off us a lot. We were shifting the ball about a lot quicker, and that's what we're good at. I've said it on this show a million times. When we move the ball about quicker and our movements a lot better, we look a far better side, and we're not as pedestrian. I thought we passed the ball around about Livingston on a number of times. But to be honest with you, Ox, I wouldn't expect it nothing else. I mean, we've already took 4 goals off Livingston this season at home, and that mob across the city done it. We took 3 off them with 9 men. So I wouldn't say we've turned the corner, but we're certainly heading in the right direction regarding last night's performance. Regarding the goal, I'm like yourself. I'm not going to dress it up any way you want. People can hear that, obviously got their own opinions. I thought it was a foul, but fair play to Big Seamer, because he played to the whistle, and you know, he stuck it away, and it was a brilliant goal he scored. He also looked up, opened his body up, and he's curled it round about the keeper. So, but I can see the frustration for the managers and obviously Livingston regarding the goal. But we've had 2 perfectly good goals chopped off this season as well. So these things even themselves out one way or another. But it's just another wee black mark on the VAR as far as I'm concerned. But we did well, Ox. We did well.
Aye, so we get the goal, and it was a good finish, Bridgeman. Yeah, do you enjoy the finish with Seamer?
A fabulous goal. You don't see very many like that, I'll tell you. That was just wonderful. That's as good as any goal you'll see. What a wonderful twist he's put on the ball. And their goalkeeper looked as if he was getting it, and all of a sudden it was past him. Just superb goal. And I know the poise you want, all the poise in the world, just in there, and I'm doing it, and that's it. Maybe I think he had 3 Rangers jerseys he could have passed the ball to if he wanted to. He took it on, and that was brilliant. Just great. Hope we can continue doing these type of things. It's just wonderful to see.
So, but everybody's getting involved. We're playing well. I had a bit of sympathy for Ryan Jack. I know he didn't have a great game. Scored a good goal, but coming up, playing on the left of midfield, he was cutting inside a lot. I don't think that's his position, but he was taking one for the team, Jaffa, and playing in a position that's no his usual role.
Yeah, I watched it, Ox. I seen him when he was set up. You know, that's no his position, but you know, we're obviously light in numbers, so you know he's obviously put his hand up and said he'll play, and he'll give it his best shot. I thought he came into a wee bit of a game as they opened up a wee bit more. I think he got a bit more space. Got a nice goal, as you said, Ox. You know, it was in fact the 3 goals up last night. They were all really well worked goals, and you know, Ryan Jack, as you say, took one for the team. He goes out there and he does a job. You know, I thought the midfield. You know, I thought Lammers was good in the early part. He fell out of the game as the game went on. He tried, you know, he put a lot of effort in, but I thought Seamer was the standout last night, Ox. Personally, I genuinely didn't think it was. Having seen it back, I don't think it was a foul. And I think the reason that they gave the goal was because I think the guy was looking for it. I think there was a wee bit of simulation went on, and he kind of exaggerated his fall. And I think that's why they didn't give it as a VAR call.
Yeah,
that was
maybe.
You know, you can see him looking over his shoulder. He's waiting, and the hand coming out. And Big Seamer obliged, certainly. Don't get me wrong, he put his hand on him, but you know, it's one of them. And whoever's sitting in the VAR room obviously seen it. That it wasn't a foul, but you can't take nothing away for the big fella. I thought everything that was good about us last night. Big Seamer was involved in it. He seems to be getting his fitness levels up, which I noticed his backtracking was good last night as well, and he was really getting in there about you know, the sort of press which was really evident for me last night, and the front 3 Ox I thought was really good. But I'm sure we'll come on to that as the show goes on.
Yeah, so we get to goal. Well, one complaint about the first half, because we did play well in the first half. I think they were up the park twice. Once through a corner when we cleared it in the second half, they broke away. The boy Kelly could have scored, you know, but he went wide. But if I've got one complaint, we never turned that domination into more goals, Billy. But everybody was playing reasonably well in the first half.
Aye, but as I said, the first half I thought we played really well. As I said, we were knocking the ball about very confidently. Passing was good. It was nice, sharp, crisp. Movement was good. We were running off each other and whatnot. And obviously the second half started, and I thought they came on to a bit again. But when you think about it, Ox, I think they had to set themselves, well, we're 1-0 down here. We'll need to. Do we sit in again, or do we have a go? And I thought they had a wee go for a wee spell, but other than that, it was we dominated the ball all night. I thought the tempo of the game sort of dropped in the second half a wee bit. It was on and off and on and off, but I think that was just down to Livingston, the way they're set up, because I think they changed their formation a wee bit in the second half as well, because I thought they were a bit narrow in the first half. But obviously they've seen something in the second half and tried to come at us, but it was a collective performance, and as I said, we another good thing, we got a clean sheet, and we're in the next round of the cup.
All right, so just as the game looked as it was going to get difficult, Bridge, right in front of you, Ridvan comes through, scores a wonderful goal, yeah?
It was just what a wonderful run by the boy, so it must have been, well, I would suggest something like 60 yards he ran, 10 yards inside his own half and up to the penalty area just before it. And it looks as I don't know if it was a toe poke or no, but he certainly put the ball in the net. Wonderful run and very pacey, and they just could. None of them could get near him, even to bring him down. They just couldn't get near him. I thought it was a tremendous run and the best I've seen that boy play for the night. I thought he was excellent, really good, and well, they deserved it. And he took a free kick and had a shot at goal, and it went. He got the target, and the target never flew up in the air or anything like that. So that's quite positive as well, to be honest. Brought the goalkeeper into it. But I think that that was a fantastic goal. Really, really well done for a great run. Athletic stuff, fantastic stuff. But the boys were talking about the foul on Seema just a second ago. That was never a foul. He put his hand on his shoulder. See, as soon as his hand went, he down like a ton of bricks. And that was read by the referee and the VAR people. They saw that. He was just diving, that was all. In my opinion.
How I judge things is how would I think if it happened to the other end? Right, so we get to the second goal. An unusual finish, but effective finish, Bridge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jaffa, unusual but effective toe poke.
Well, I mean, it's what I heard that big guy who talks on that one of the channels. I seen the YouTube video of it saying it was a toe poke. I mean, it was just a great run. I like when Ridvan does that. I think it really gives us something we don't have in our team when he goes inside Ox. And it absolutely, when it turns a defence, it turns a midfield because they're not sure whether to go with him or not. And I've seen him do that a few times. He's very good at it. And he just saw the ground opening up in front of him. I mean, great goal, great finish. I mean, absolutely tremendous finish. A dose of cramp after it, right enough. But
you were going to see something else there, don't
it was good. Ridvan was good last night. Again, one of the players that really shone. I would probably class Seema in that. And Ben Davies, I thought had a good game as well. And Cifuentes, I thought was well with it, win the game. He trapped the ball, he pulled it down. He had a couple of really deft touches. So there was a lot of good performances last night. John Lundstrom even looked quite good last night. That's terrible. I mean, I think Big Lundstrom's a great player, but the mobility question always raises its head, doesn't it?
Right, so we get the second goal. Game, set and match, Billy, yeah, and then he goes on and gets 2 more goals. Yeah. The second goal, that was a game done, wasn't it?
That's it. We're always looking for that one. I mean, when you score one goal in a league game or a cup game, there's always the chance that all it takes is one silly mistake, or you're switching off for a minute, and boom, the ball's in the back of the net, and you're back to square one. But we go to the second goal, and it was a brilliant. I thought Ridvan was a brilliant goal. The way he burst through the centre of the midfield type thing. His close control was superb, Box, and he was going at pace as well. And it's hard to defend against that. You could see the Livingston boys. There were people would say maybe they were backing off the boy, but I just think he was too quick for them. And he's also made a great run. He said great close control, and he said a toe poke, as they call it, a toe poke. It was like I wouldn't say it was like the Ronaldinho one against Chelsea for Barcelona years ago, because his was through outside the box, but it was definitely a toe poke. But once we got the second goal, we were on easy street, Ox.
Yeah, I think we get the third goal through Seema, who I think was trying to tee up Dessers, if I'm being honest. Bridgeman, we get a deflection, 3-0, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, how can you say that? Did they not class that as an own goal or something like that?
They gave it to Seema. For me, it was an own goal, because I don't think it was going towards a goal. It took a wicked deflection, yeah?
Yeah, it's crazy, But I give him all the credit in the world for getting there and doing the business with the ball. And yet, sometimes when you smash a ball across the park, it gets deflected into the net, and that's what happens. But this time, it was deflected right like a tackle. It didn't come off, and the ball went into the net. I loved it. And well done, Mr. Seamer. Great stuff. 3-0 Rangers. Can't whack it.
And then a moment of genius when Scott Wright starts out the ball and Ryan Jack puts it in for the fourth goal, Jaffa.
Oh, that was worth the entrance fee last night. Actually, Scott Wright, to be fair, credit where credit's due, he actually contributed when he came on. He had a couple of darting runs, and that being the bit that that obviously created the fourth goal. And it was good vision by him. He dummied the ball, let the ball run through to Ryan Jack. Great finish with Ryan Jack as well, I have to say. It's not an easy slot. He banged it in off the inside of the post. Cracking finish. Just put the icing on the cake for the game. I think 4-0 was a true reflection of possession, us as a team, and I think it was a worthy scoreline, to be honest with you. And the team should take confidence from that, Ox, and that's what those types of results get you, and get you into semi-finals of the cup and a visit to Hampden. And they should give themselves a pat on the back. They've not achieved anything. They've just got there, but it was a good performance and a good reaction after a poor performance at the weekend, and one that the fans most definitely wanted.
The 35,000 that showed up. Superb crowd considering the weather. But right, who's shone for you, Billy?
Big Seamer, and I thought Ben Davis had a good game as well. Another good game.
Bridgman?
Well, I can't say that my man of the match would be the goalkeeper, because I've said that for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Goalkeeper, I don't even really needed to touch the ball in any time during that game. So I think that Seamer, obviously for his goals, tremendous stuff. And I really do think Davis is coming into a game. I think that boy's going to be quite good for us if he can keep that momentum up. He's doing very well, and of course the young left back was fantastic. What a good game he had! What a good game. I thought Tav had his poorest game for me. I don't know about anybody else thinks. I thought he had his poorest game, but that's the three I thought shone. Seamer for the goals, Davies for his all-round defensive ability, fantastic, and of course the young lad, Magic.
All right, Jaffa, you see it. I mean, I can't believe they've overlooked Scott Wright for that world-class step over.
He never won. Not one of the hairs moved. Not one of them.
Not
he done it. No, not a one. No, big Seamer for me, Ox. He was the star of the show. Give me that turn he's got any day of the week. That was brilliant to watch. He done it twice, I think. It was really, really effective. So he was on fire last night.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with Seamer or Ben Davis. I thought Ben Davis, when he started chest the ball down, Billy looked really comfortable and was making this play.
Ox's, I think Southside's touched on it as well on the show. I mean, I'm along the same sides as Southside. They're a tongue twister. I'm along the same lines as Southside regarding Ben Davis. I can't see what the outcry is and amongst our support about the boy. I mean, the laddie's played with Liverpool. You know what I mean? You don't play with Liverpool for talk's sake if you're not a decent football player. That just doesn't happen. I mean, he had a blip at Parkhead and he made a mistake. But listen, he's not the first player at Parkhead to make a mistake, and I'm sure he'll certainly not be the last. I like Ben Davis. I think he's a classy centre back. He's got a lovely left foot on him. He reads the game well. I wouldn't say he's blessed with blistering pace, because he's no, but I think what he reads the game, and that makes up for him not having the pace. And as I said, he's got a lovely left foot on him. So I like Ben Davis, and if we can keep him fit in there, I'm sure that lad will go into strength to strength with the Rangers. So I
hope so. I hope anybody improves their team. So he's come back in the team. We've not lost a goal. We've scored 8, not lost any. So you've got to be pleased as far as that's concerned. We're quick to criticise Bridge, but the last 4 games we ain't lost a goal and we've scored 8.
The record's good insofar as the clean sheets is marvellous, but I would suggest that not so much last night, but the other games, the goalkeeper was the standout for making the saves that kept the clean sheets, and the defence, of course, and you can build that up. But the truth is, that's 4 clean sheets. I don't know how many goals was in it overall, but a couple of 1-0s, So, but last night was excellent. They scored the 4 goals, and I listened to the after match stuff, and I listened to their manager, and there was a wee hangdog look on his face there, and a wee bit of devilment in his mouth when he was saying something at certain times. And I tell you now, I cannot believe that manager and their team and all the radio and television people thought that they were going to come to Ibrox and roll over Rangers. That's what I think they thought. And they're all raging that goal stood. When everybody's saying, no, that wasn't it. Of course, because they hate Rangers anyway. That was, no, seriously. That's tremendous. 4 in a row. Brilliant. I love it.
Yeah. Right, we've got these phone lines opened, huh?
Let's get the Bears in.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right, Billy boy, you get your last man's lunch best standing in for this week, Billy.
Aye, I'm out.
Jaffa, the Jaffa household still got one player going strong, I believe.
Yes, that's right. Aye. Getting propped up here, folks. I'm just going to have a wee look at the fixtures later on tonight just to make my selection. And that's not a tactical vote. It's not that I'm not telling you who my team is or anything.
Oh dear. I put my selection in earlier on this afternoon, yes.
Who did you go for?
That would be telling, wouldn't it?
It would be.
I hope it goes to a treble dunter.
Who did Southside take? Oh, he's out. All right, go over. Let who laugh last, laugh longest, Bridgeman.
You better believe it, pal. Yeah.
Well, we'll see if we go on his let boot this week after all my crone, Billy.
What's that, sorry?
I'm his let boot put out this week after all my crone.
You know, the big wheel of karma goes around, Ox, you know.
Yes. Aye. Right, okay, so look, we criticise the team, we run them down, we maybe over-criticise some individual players. Look, that was a decent team performance with the standouts being Davis and Seema. Yeah, I agree with that. Ridvan with his goal will always get plaudits. Everybody get pass marks. No, everybody get 9 out of 10, Billy.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody get pass marks, yeah?
Aye, they did. As I said, it's a cup tie. We won convincingly. We played well. We scored 4 goals. Albeit one was a deflection. We got a clean sheet. All the players deserve a wee pat in the back because they have been under pressure. But as I said earlier on, Oxa, if they couldn't go and do that to Livingston at home in a cup tie, then there'd been something seriously wrong with us. Well, I'll tell you one thing I was disappointed in at the end. I thought, I know, obviously the gaffer had to make a couple of changes. Obviously, Kemar Roof went half injured. And then Ridvan's went down with cramp. But I'd have liked to have seen maybe one of the laddies getting a wee run out there for the last 10 minutes or something. Maybe Bailey Rice.
I was annoyed with that myself. Well, when they put the 3 on, I can't understand when they can't give the boys 10 minutes.
That's exactly my thoughts were. The game was, we were up 3-0. The game was put to bed, and he's brought on. They heard to the subs that went on. I mean, the laddies are obviously wanting to play as well, so fair play to them, they've come on, you know, but I couldn't understand it for the life of me, Oxford. He never did Cole McKinnon or Bailey Rice a wee 10-minute cameo there, just to try and introduce them to that kind of platform. Like, you know, it was that disappointed me, that one.
Aye, I get it. I don't disagree with you. But however, Jaffa, 4-0 on a run. Let's keep this momentum going. We've got to be pleased. Can we play better? Yes, we can.
Yeah, absolutely, Ox. You know, we are quick to criticise. You know, we all are as fans. That's inward nature. You know, especially when things are not going great, and we've certainly took some dullions in the previous weeks with Europe and stuff like that, and that lot. But you can't take in away from it. You look at the end of the day, you look back and you look at the results, and you know, Motherwell's 1-0. You know, he's won 4 games in a row, no goals conceded. That has to be you know, applauded. And absolutely, that's all we asked for after the disappointment of some of the results, was just to go on a run, put a run together, and results will shut up, you know, the discontent, if you want, and it will shut up the murmurings, and then we'll all start, you know, all that will fade away, and we'll start, you know, being optimistic and looking forward to games, which I think is where a few of our heads as fans probably are. We're looking forward to the game against Aberdeen. We've got a big game in Europe a week on Thursday, a week tonight. So, you know, the games are coming thick and fast. It's just a matter of keeping that going. I know he's losing a few players to injuries. You know, I didn't think there looked to be much effect on that last night. Don't get me wrong. I know there's probably 4 or 5 guys that would be starters in that if Cantwell and all the rest of them are all fit. But you've just got to get on, mate, Ox. That's football, and that injuries are always going to be part of football. So from that perspective, I thought the boys that came in and the boys that did contribute, I really didn't think they actually put their mark on the game last night, even the substitutes. So long may it continue. That's all we can ask.
I get it, mate. I get it. Well, obviously we hope that Ridvan's cramped, because the last time we get told that with Tom Lawrence, and next time we knew he was out for 6 weeks for it, you know.
Yeah, like we're all hopeful of that, and that's for sure. We don't want any more injuries. We can do without them. But for the guy's sake, I hope he's okay. And because that was I think his first major run in the team for a while, you know. So he's got a good long run, and he's okay. He's come up with some cramp, we think, and let's hope it is that. The boy should be playing for us. He should be playing for us. Himself, inside himself, he should be playing for us. Because he's good enough. He's proved it. He's good enough.
Yeah. So we'll keep our roof. Billy, groin. Not looking good, is it?
I don't know, Ox. I've said it a few times. We can't. Listen, first and foremost, let's look at the positives here. Kemar Roof is a goal scorer. He'll score you goals. That's unquestionable. You know, his link-up play is good at times. He brings other players into the game. He's got the unexpectability about him as well. Like the goal he scored in Europe for the opposite side of the halfway line. He can score with both feet. He can take a shot. He can hold players off. He can score with the head, and he's a goal scorer. That's unquestionable. It's the fitness side of his game that lets him down. And if he's out again, Ox, I don't know. Who's going to step up to the mantle type thing to fill in that position. You could argue the case that maybe Big Seamer, with him being a natural centre forward, he could maybe be the man to go in there. Or you've got Dessers, which is the jury's still out big time with me regarding him carrying that flag, and obviously Danilo. So I think we're a wee bit light there. But regarding Kemar Roof's fitness, that's just part and parcel of his career. Unfortunately, that's the way he's been through his career, and we'll just need to get on with it. Hopefully, he's just tweaked his groin, and it's no a long-term thing, but only time will tell with that one, Ox.
Well, anything on the groin, Jaffa, you know, we're not going to see him to minimum after an international break, yeah? Last call for Jaffa.
I thought, sorry, Ox, I'm losing the plot here tonight. Apologies. I thought.
just remember the same rule goes for you, Bridge. 3 strikes and you're out.
Okay, boss, okay. I thought he was quiet, Ox, in the first half. Kemar Roofe. I don't think he was as. I was watching him. I don't think he was as agile as what I've seen him. You know, I don't know if he's maybe something that's been lingering. You know, and they thought he could maybe work his way through it, or he's taking an injection or whatever. I don't know, but listen. Usually, in the groin, even a slight tear, is going to be probably 4 to 6 weeks before you'll see him back, I would think.
Ox, can I just jump in there a wee quick one, Paul?
Well, you've never done a quick one in your life, as you know, so right, it better be quick.
No, I was listening to Michael Beale say.
That's enough.
I was
thank you.
Be bothered. Don't be a stranger.
Hurry up.
I was listening to Michael Beale, and Michael Beale says when he took him off at half time, Kemar Roofe mentioned that he felt it go earlier than that. And Michael Beale said to him, why did you let us know? Why did you wait to half time?
Fox, scrub that interview. Billy's just ruined it. Fox, scrub it.
Scrub it.
Thanks, Fox. Scrub it. That's that interview ruined. Yeah, ruined.
Oh, well. Into the belt.
Again, I think you like the belt. No. Yeah, but by the way, with his injury record, you would think. Now, you wonder if that's pride before a fall, Billy, or no, he doesn't want to say anything. Yeah.
Could be. It could be. A lot of players are like that.
But it's a team game, and then he's out and he's can't help the team. So, you know, and obviously you've got the economics as well. We're paying him. He's got if he has got himself injured or made it worse.
Yeah. You've got to be. You're 100% bang on. I can understand why he's maybe not wanted to go off, but surely you would expect that for maybe a youngster coming up through the ranks type thing, and he's not been as professional as he should be. But if that's the case and he's felt it before he went off at half time, then he's put himself before the rest of the team, in my opinion. And you can't do that because, as you correctly said there, if he's going to be out, we don't know how long he's got to be out for. We're only guessing here, but if he's got to be out, then he's been out for his own reasons. It's been on him. It's not been on anybody else in the team, Ox.
That's if it had they went when they first felt it, you know. We'll never know. No. We'll never know. Yeah, quite sad, Bridge, man, you know, if he's out again injured, you know, because he had been playing reasonably well. Kemar Roofe, and you gave him a chance, he scores. All right. For the last time, you're on mute, Bridge.
I'm saying I think he's got this problem. I don't know whether it's a mental problem that goes with it. And if he's got himself injured, and for whatever the reason, and he hasn't informed the manager, that's mental. That's mental. You know, you see the players doing it all the time. You get somebody come over and have a look at it and then say, right, off you go. But if you're going to sit there and wait until half time, there's something no right about that. But I don't know what the manager's going to, in other words, anything you can do about it. But I don't know what it is. Why would the boy want to hide an injury or hold an injury in or whatever? Just weird. But I do like him. I think he scores some good goals.
I don't like him. I think the trouble is we don't see him on the park often enough.
That's the truth.
Jaffa, but all these things should be decided after the park, shouldn't they? If you feel a tweak or a strain, you get done, you get the medical staff on, you get checked out, you make a decision, yeah?
Absolutely, Ox. I mean, and obviously we know that Kemar Roofe's got he's got an injury list, the length of his arm. We know he's a fragile player, so if anything, he should probably, have a further checklist with the medics and probably himself in his own mind. And if he's felt a slight twang going or a slight twinge in his groin, you just don't take any chances. I mean, especially, having come back from a long-term injury. Just get off, mate, and, get somebody else on that's fit. So, I mean, that's on Kemar, that one. If he has played on to half-time and potentially made it even worse, You just don't take any chances. And that goes for every player, Ox. And I think in general, most players nowadays, because of their health, are, if they get a bad knock or whatever, they tend to just flag it up and get themselves off. And with a 5 sub rule, there's somebody in the bench that can come on and take your position.
Mm-hmm. So hopefully it turns out to be nothing. Hopefully Red fans just cramp, and hopefully we can get Raskin and Dowell back ASAP, Billy, and the squad starts slowly coming together again.
I like to, obviously you want to get Raskin back as well, because I think we missed the wee man in there. You know what I mean? He's not a complete player as well, but I like Raskin. I like what he brings to the team. He can give the ball away cheaply at times as well, but other than that, the more players we get back healthy and fit into the squad again, it gives the manager a headache of whose best starting 11's got to be, who's got to put on the park for different game sources, for courses, whatever you want to call it, what kind of formation he's want to play, what kind of format he's want to play. It gives the manager a headache, didn't it? But we're certainly missing the guys who are out injured now. I think we can't well on that as well, and the big fella we brought up for Norwich, I like to look at him too. So if they're on the road back for injury, then it can only be good, because it helps the squad and it helps the team out in the long term.
Mm-hmm. So we did look as if we were doing the bare bones pretty much last night, Jaffa, for being honest,
It did, Ox, aye. I mean, when you start looking at Scott Wright getting on and getting a chance, I think that demonstrates where the squad, has been depleted. I'm not actually sure, Ox, the exact number of how many players are out injured, but I did read, I think, on follow. I think we're up to about 6 or 7 players now, so it would be good to see a couple of those guys coming back, as you, Billy, and that were saying there. Cantwell, I hope, can't be too far away. I haven't heard any update on him. I think I heard Michael Beale after the game last night saying that he felt Kieran Dowell might be in contention for the weekend. So that would be a plus. Even having him on the bench is an option if he's been back training. So it would be good to. I don't want to keep seeing that number of players going up and nobody coming back into the team. Injuries are fine provided that there's a circulation of it, and the guys that have been out for a few weeks are starting to come back into the team again and back into contention, like Raskin as well. That would be good to get him back in the team, because he does bring a different dynamic to the team.
Aye, Bridgeman, it's hard to legislate for injuries, but
Oh yeah, absolutely. The most difficult thing to manage as a manager and a coach, obviously. It's really difficult. We've got 4 or 5 boys are injured, and they're first team starters. They really are. You're talking about Cantwell, Raskin, and it's just sad that these guys are going to miss key parts of the game. However, we're very fortunate. We went through 4 games in a row there and won them. So these guys, although they're sadly missed, they'll be a real breath of fresh air if they come back and give us that added impetus to sort of spread ourselves up the way, we can. And I think that would. But we need these guys back to make it all happen and bolster it. That's what we need. But injuries are murder.
Yeah. Who's the ones we're missing most? An informed Catmull, an informed Raskin, and young Danilo. Would that be fair?
Yeah, absolutely. Danilo.
Tom Lawrence come into that as well.
It does indeed. Well, that's what I'm saying. You've got 4 or 5 there that would be first team picks. I'm assuming they would be first team picks anyway. And I think Danilo was a scandal. And that's got away with that. That guy got away with that. Seriously, scandal. That was an assault.
Yeah, Billy. Who are you looking forward to coming back into the team?
Oh, my favourite wee Todd Cantwell, mate. I love Todd Cantwell. I love the bones of him. I love what he brings to the team, and I want to see Tom Lawrence back as soon as I can. And listen, I like Raskin and I like the three of them in there. They really they're three special players in my opinion, and they've got what it takes. And I want to see the three of them in that midfield together: Raskin, Cantwell, and Tom Lawrence. That's my Rangers midfield as far as I'm concerned, Ox. And I'd love to see the three of them all fit and all getting a right good run in the team. And I'm not talking about maybe 2 or 3 games and one's out injured again. I'm talking about the three of them staying fit, and that three being the Rangers midfield, because I think that midfield could take us forward.
All right. Who we missing most for you, Jeff? I'll put you on the spot. Who we missing most?
Cantwell, obviously, I think is the main one, Ox. Believe it or not, I think we're missing Matondo as well. I think he came on to a bit of a game there before that injury last week. So I know he's going to be out for 6 weeks, but Matondo with that pace is just, I don't think any defence in the country could live with that, Ox, or even any that's in that group in Europe that were in the Europa Cup. So Matondo definitely, and Tom Lawrence. I think he's like a can opener, isn't he? He can open anything. He's just full of craft, isn't he?
There's no one here, a Tim opener.
Tim opener's even better.
Very good.
Yes, Tom Lawrence, aye. Oh, just hope he's no on that scheme of roof. I want him to get fit and play and run a games, Billy. He's got ability. He's got that X factor, isn't he?
He's a cracking football player. I like Tom Lawrence. He's a good athlete as well, Ox. He gets up and down the park. He's got all the attributes to be a midfielder or whatever position he wants to play in that position, or shove him up one too. He's got a wee bit of pace about him. He's got guile. You know what I mean? He's no fear to hear a pop. He can take the ball in tight areas. He's a good dribbler of the ball, which he showed in Europe. He was very unlucky with that wee run he went on. So he's got that in his locker as well. You know, it's just trying to keep him fit. And I really hope that we can get Tom Lawrence fit, because I think highly of Tom Lawrence, Ox. I think he's got that wee swagger about him as well. And I watched a couple of his interviews as well, and he's got a steely attitude about him as well. You know what I mean? Because he was out for a lengthy time there. You know, and I mean that it's all right for players when they go out for these spells. Some of them are out short-term injury, but when you're out for a long period, I think it was about a year or something like that, or just over a year he was out for. And then he was coming back to training, he was breaking down again, then he was away back to square one again, and then he was coming back and he was breaking down again. You know what I mean? That must play havoc on you mentally. So he's came through that. So he's showed a right steeliness, Tom Lawrence. And if he can show that when he's coming through injuries, he's got all the attributes that's needed to play in a Rangers midfield. Definitely.
All right. So we'll criticise the manager, and we had a wee pop about the substitutions. I think we're splitting hairs, if I'm being honest, Bridge. The manager last night, he got a lot more right than wrong. He picked a team with, the personnel pretty much picked itself within reason. So he was asked to do a job last night, and I'm just talking about last night, Bridge. It's a tick in the box, and you move on, yeah?
Oh, 100%. I think the manager's huge task for all the supporters. I'm assuming we all think similar lines. We've got 4 or 5 players in there are injured, first team starters. This is what I'm trying to say. The manager needs to say, we need to get these boys back in, and these guys, because they've not been there, so other guys come in and have done it and done it quite well to a certain extent. We need to find all these, how can we call it again? A shape and a scheme of play for these players to be able to go in and blend in with each other and do it. He's never had a chance to make all that happen, and I don't know if he ever will, truth be told, but he needs to do it. He needs to do something and get Danilo fit and Todd Cantwell coming back in. It'll just be like fantastic for the Rangers players and the team and the fans. They just want to see the wee man in and doing the business, because he's just electric. He does everything. And boy, Rashkan, fantastic stuff. So all these players should be able to find a spot. There's a spot in the team somewhere over and above the how well the guys have played, particularly last night, and we've got chances in Europe and sort of chances to play in Europe. I know these guys are just waiting. They should be playing in Europe. They really should. Rangers should be playing in Europe with comfort, and we need all these players in the squad and in the team. And how the manager gets that blend right, I don't know. But my goodness gracious, we're desperately needing these guys, at least 3 of these guys back into the squad again and be first team picks. That's what we need.
All right. Is that fair, Bridge? Jaffa, the manager, yeah?
Aye, absolutely, Ox. Aye, I mean, I've said on the show over the last few weeks myself, what my opinion was of Michael. I don't take any pleasure in saying that, I have to say, just to underline that. I want Michael Beale to be successful as any the rest of us as fans. So for me, that's last night is a tick in the box for him. He takes all the credit for it, and he should, because he picked the team and he put it together. And as I said at the start of the show, Ox, the team showed desire last night for me. So if that's his message, then he's got his message over to them loud and clear. That every one of them were full of dig last night. They were full of tempo, full of attitude. There was a bit of, brilliance in Seema and a couple of things that he'd done on the park. Confidence, Ben Davis pulling the ball out of the sky. Couple of deft touches by Cifuentes. I thought, some of the passing was crisp. It was good. That's all on Michael Beale. He's managed to get that message. I mean, by his own admission, they're not training very much. All they're doing is going from game to game day, recovery day, and then they're doing a wee bit of analysis, and then the next day they're playing again. And that's no different this week. They'll have a rest day today. They'll have a down day today. They'll be back in tomorrow, and then it's game day on Saturday against Aberdeen. So I'm with him on that one. I'm no criticising him in any way. He's doing his best with one hand tied behind his back. That's managing Rangers, though. He knew that. That's the way it was before when he was here. It's doubly difficult when you've got injuries, of course. So all credit to Michael Beale last night. Long may it continue. Just get the group together that are fit enough to play. And as Bridge absolutely nailed it, work out a team, work out a plan that best suits the shape and what you've got, the personnel that you've got, and get the best out of them. That's his job, and that's his gig as a manager. That's what he's got to do as the games roll on, Ox.
And it comes thick and fast, Billy.
Aye, that's exactly what happens at Rangers. You know what I mean? We went for the Europa League to the league, and then we went to the league to the League Cup. The games come thick and fast, and we've got no time to feel sorry for ourselves, especially the players. But listen, it's all about winning games of football. That's what it's all about. Obviously, we want to be entertained as well, but the bottom line is it's about winning football matches, and that when you win football matches, it breeds confidence, both individually and collectively. And he's just got to keep winning games. That's what he's just got to do. He's got to keep winning games of football, because if he doesn't, the pressure will be right back on him. And obviously only time will tell regarding that one. But we're right, we give constructive criticism when, and rightly so, when things are not going right. But we also give our team applaudits when they do well. So we'll certainly, one thing we'll no stop doing is supporting them, that's for sure.
Yeah. Right, lads, get yourself on mute, because we're going to have a tune.
Every Saturday we follow, we cheer the boys in blue, the most successful team in football. We're Scotland's gallant few, though at times they have been hard, we've followed near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands in Ibrox Park.
Every Saturday we follow.
successful team in football. Well, Scotland's gallant few, whose times they have been hard, will follow near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands at Ibrox Park. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Right, thanks a lot. We're back, gentlemen.
Yep.
Hi, mate. Yep.
You know, I've got something to ask you. Right, we know we've had 2 defeats in the league. And we know we blew both the games. We're very honest as a support, Billy, yeah?
Yep.
We blew the 2 games, right? We should have won the both games, let's be honest, correct? Right. We know we're not scoring enough goals. Forget about the 4 last night. You're the piece, we haven't scored enough goals. We also know we've got a lot of injuries. These are all facts. As Bostad would say, yeah, are you comfortable so far, Billy? Right. So the negativity, well, I've looked at this in my research department, you know. Fox was he fond memories of Jim Forrest actually said what a pair of thighs he had. The last time you seen a pair of thighs like it was Dust Gladys, if you remember her. The Fox was saying, right? But anyway, that was Fox's story of the day. He always makes a funny way. And he was saying that this drip feeding media, drip feeding, and some of it in support by it, Jaffa. We've talked about this before, yeah? Myth becomes fact.
I think you've got to be always put things into perspective, Ox. That happens in this part of the world. Of course, we know that. We're, you know, the bubble is Scottish football in Glasgow, and we know who has the pen and the microphone. You know, in this part of the world, and they do that. That's absolutely. I mean, you heard. You know, you've heard it in recent weeks in some of the commentaries and games, the way they talk disparagingly, and they do. You're right. They turn myth into fact very quickly. And to put it down into plain facts, what you've just said, we've won 4 games. The last 4 games we've won them without conceding a single goal. And that, for any manager, if you're Michael Beale sitting in front of the board of directors having an honest chat about where things are, that's the facts of the matter. That's what's happened. The facts are also the matter that we lost those 2 games that we should have won, barring a couple of decisions in one particular game, the biggest game of the season so far, where we were hard done by. And you know my opinion on that, Ox. I believe there's the dark arts at work. I think it's more sinister than that. That's just my humble opinion, though. It's only my thoughts. Because it happens in a regularity that it's impossible for it not to be. You know, it happened last season, it happened the season before that, and so forth. So from that point of view, we need to take that into account, and we need to be better than that. We need to be aware of stuff like that, and that's where I think Michael still has. You know, I still think I still would like to see him get a bit sharper with throw-ins and just the darts, you know, the more competitive side of the game. Last night, I thought they were really good. We fought for every single challenge, and if he can get the team and install that in the squad of players that's there, that's how we play, and that's the setup. You know, that's our style. That's who we are. That's our identity, and that's the way we're going to play. We're going to play on the front foot, like he said he wants to. And like he said, he likes to play football. If he is now getting his message over to them and things are starting to click, because that does happen as well. That is a thing in football and in any sport. It's practice makes perfect. You keep doing the same thing. Footballers are creatures of habits. And if you keep getting them doing the same things repetitively, that's why good coaching works. And listen, there's no doubt Michael Beale is well regarded. He is a top coach. There's too many people said that otherwise, Ox, and I'm not taking that away from him, but he needs to transfer that onto the park, and he needs to get that in the dressing room, Ox. And that, for me, is where Michael Beale has got to, as you go back to the point, he's the man that can dispel the myth and of all the some of the nonsense that gets printed and some of the stuff that our own fan base falls into the trap of. So if he keeps winning games, he'll dispel that.
All right, okay. Yeah, myth becomes legend, legend becomes fact, Billy, and sometimes, and I'm not trying to go at anybody, people are entitled to make their own minds up, but it's this constant barrage of attacks and the drip feeding, they highlight one negative and they just go after it. And it's the headlines, so it's all negative. We can see right through it, mate.
Aye, listen, Ox, listen, that mob are masters at propaganda, aren't they? They're masters at it. They're far superior than us. I will give them that. They don't like us. We know they don't like us. And to be honest with you, no one likes us. We don't care. I mean, you think about it this way. That's, as you correctly said, we've won 4 games here. We've conceded 0, right? I mean, in any other country in the world or any other football country, establishment, or whatever you want to call it in the world, if that's a team that the media are coming out and they're applauding you for it, no, in Scotland it doesn't work like that. No, in Scotland, especially when you've got certain people pulling the strings. And when you look at it this way, if that's them, then the media are coming out and you're giving you the exact opposite, and they're getting perceived as Brazil, to pardon the pun. You know what I mean? But regarding, listen, see the football, if we start to mix it up there, I don't want to. I hate predictability in football. You know what I mean? Because when you start doing that, like for corner kicks and free kicks and throw-ins and whatnot, teams they suss you out. That's how you've got to keep mixing things up and keep your opposition thinking all the time. And when you do that, you become a better football team, in my opinion. And you become harder to beat because you're constantly keeping teams guessing. So, I mean, Michael Beale, obviously, he's managerial credentials at Queen's Park Rangers, and now he's at Ibrox with the Glasgow Rangers. You know what I mean? He's no been, how can I put it? He's no got the experience in that department of a top manager. So he's basically learning on the tools, basically, isn't he? That's what he's doing. But some of his decisions have been good, some of his have been bad. I mean, I've been very critical of him on numerous occasions with some of the things he's been doing. But listen, we want Michael Beale to prove us wrong. That's what we want. I mean, we could all be sitting here ranting and raving to the coos come home, but you never know. We could go on a crazy run, and then next season, you never know. We could to win trophies. I'm not saying we will. I want us to win trophies, but what could happen is we could go and win the trophies, and then all this negativity will be completely forgotten about. And that's just the nature of the beast at football, and it's just the nature of the beast in Glasgow.
I'll give you an example. We know we had a disaster in Europe last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
We hurt us, Jeff. We all agree that. Yeah, Bridgman, we agree. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, we know.
Yep.
Right. So we never won a point. We lost a lot of goals. By the way, we played reasonably well in a few of the matches. Yeah. Yeah.
We did indeed.
Yeah, Napoli at home. We gave them a game, and obviously things could have went different. Send it off, changed the whole game. All right. So we know that. We accepted it. We were sore. We took our medicine. But I thought they topped the group, didn't they? When I've read about the results in Europe, they topped the group, didn't they? Won every game, didn't they?
They got to the quarterfinals, did they not?
So that's the narrative, Bridge, I'm talking about. We just have to. I don't know how we do it. Maybe it's a modern world, but in the mainstream media, we know what's happening. It's drip, 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 and legend becomes fact. Yeah.
100% right. Like, On Rangers Radio here, we've been saying this for a number of years, a long number of years. That we've seen through our troubles, and we've got to try and get ourselves back up. We're getting booted all over the place, including all the media, every part of it, every branch of the media. We're all doing it, and they're still doing it. And we can't quite get over that hurdle yet. I don't know whether we ever will, but we've all said, and me anyway in particular, said that Rangers need to get something done as far as the press and the televisions and the radio stations. There's not one of them pro Rangers, not one of them. There's no even. I don't even know. I think there's maybe one. There might be one reporter with the Sun or the Daily Record that likes Rangers. Other than that, we've got nothing, and we need to build that. I don't know how they're going to do it. Whether that's using the original, or put a radio station called Rangers Football Club or something like that, and get it out.
You mean Rangers Radio? That'll never.
You get what I mean. We know this is in a social media platform. I'm talking about actual broadcasting. Rangers should have a radio channel. And
you just trying to make yourself redundant.
No. I'm just saying that we all know that, let's say, Radio Clyde is heavily subsidised by.
And we know how they select the callers.
Correct. And so's the BBC.
You can see right through it. Yes.
I'm just saying, we are never going to get the cover that they get unless we do something about it. And I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is. But the fans, how can you stop the fans phoning in Radio Clyde? I don't know. They want to phone in. They want to get their stuff over in the air. And really and truly, it's. I'm sorry, Oxford. I just can't get words. I can't get the words to say how it makes it feel. I just know that
the words are there, but we'd have to bar you.
Absolutely. I'll say no more on it.
Come and join us.
For that, mate.
Come and join us. 0141 356 1972. Give us your thoughts on last night. Give us your thoughts if you're old enough to remember, like Jaffa, Jim Forrest. And give us your thoughts what we talked about, the constant attacks in the media. Yeah, we're no silly. Come and join us, give your thoughts. It would be good to hear for the callers, Jaffa.
It would be, Oxai. It'd be good to hear some of the Bears and their thoughts on the game last night, and their take on, obviously, the up and coming games, and obviously the draw for the cup last night against Hearts as well, Ox. A semi-final draw at Hampden. So there's a lot to chat about. There's a lot of Rangers stories out there, and obviously, as you quite rightly say, the constant drip of the negative press on us in the media.
A story broke at the start of the week, and I don't know if it was an old move by the club, Jaffa, just with enlarging the stadium. Yeah, getting the capacity up to over 60,000. Yeah, did you pay much attention to that, mate?
I did. I read the report. Apparently, it's I believe there's going to be some discussions and there's going to be some stuff released about an update and where they are and what they're considering doing. They said at the AGM Ox last year they were going to do that. They were taking some investigative reports into the looking at the actual financiability and whether it was feasibility studies and so forth, engineering studies. So I take it some of that stuff has come to fruition. I for one, Ox, I'm all for that. It's the club moving forward and creating more capacity. We've got a big waiting list of fans. We want season tickets, want to give the club their hard-earned money. So the club are doing the right thing. They're trying to figure a way out, the best way forward as to how they can solve that. And I believe it's going to be done in stages, if it is going to be done at all, for obvious reasons, for finances and for obviously interruption of match play and so forth. So it'd be good to hear if they've come to some conclusions on it, Ox, and what the actual the timeline is on it, and what they're expected to do some of this work, if at all, if any of it's going to go ahead. So I mean, from what I can take for the article, James Bisgrove seems to be talking very positively about it. So I take out of that it's going to be, it's going to be what a lot of the fans want to hear, and that the stadium's going to be developed so further. And I'm for one, I'm as one fan here, I'm all behind that.
Billy?
Aye, I've not read too much into it myself, folks, but just echo everything Jaffa said there. If we can put the capacity up at Ibrox to whatever they want it to go to, and it's obviously got to generate more money. It's got to get more Rangers supporters who's on the waiting list to get season tickets, then I'm all for it. Plus, it'll create an even better atmosphere than what's already there. I'm not saying the atmosphere's no good to know. It's good. Obviously, the Union Bears keep the boys dance for 90 minutes. It's just, I don't know how to do it right enough. Maybe too old to do that right enough, but fair play to Union Bears and whatnot for the displays and the singing and that. They keep the place going for the full game. But Ox, no, I'm all for that. If the Rangers can put up the capacity and get more Rangers supporters or Rangers fans or whatever you want to call us into the ground, and it's beneficial to Rangers and it makes more people happy and the club's happy, the fans are happy, then I'm all for it.
Dancing for 90 minutes, that's easy, Jaffa.
Oh, no. You snake all in your shoes.
Yeah. It's easy, isn't it?
Doddle dancing for 90 minutes. We done it for about 4 hours in Seville.
The speedos on.
Oh, aye. And goggles.
It was actually a snorkel I had on.
Very thought of it.
Right, okay. Go back. Aye, listen, Brendan, you into the club, but
Yeah.
Nearly had them.
Next years, that we really need to maybe get an increase in stadium, build the stands up the way that these kind of things have been said. Can we do it? I don't know. Can we extend the Govan stand, put another 10,000 in there? I don't know. But it'd be wonderful to get. We've got 50,000, 52,000, I think it is, capacity stadium at the moment. It'd be great to get that up in some way, get that up to the 60,000, because we deserve it. Rangers deserve it. But it's going to take a lot of planning and a lot of time and a barrel load of money. And Rangers directors need to be there in the forefront to get the finance and get that done. Because, by the way, if we can get that and get the Bears happy and get your 60,000 in there, wonderful. I would go for 65,000, by the way, just for me. I'd go for 65,000, and then they'll never catch us.
Yep. Well, there's a lot of sense in that bridge, because there's a lot of revenue there. I don't know what the average. It's hard to work out what the average seat will cost, bring in, Jaffa, but if that's, say, 30 quid, would that be fair with the tiny cake, concessions and children, yeah?
Yeah, I would say 30 quid's probably about the average Ox for the ticket.
So, an extra 10,000 every match, it's 300 grand, mate. If you get 10,000 seats, you have that over 18 league games, 5.5 million per annum, plus the European ties, etc. You're going to take more revenue in the big games, cup ties. You can be close to 30 games a season. Close to 10 million per annum, mate.
Absolutely, Ox, and the way that these numbers all work and add up together over even just a relatively short period of time, over a 10-year period. I mean, you're starting to get into really crazy numbers. It's really high revenue. The club would be crazy not to do what they're doing, and I commend them for doing that, because to say at an AGM you're going to conduct a feasibility study, it's just a couple of one-line sentences, but to actually do that and put it into place costs a lot of money in itself, and it costs a lot of time to find engineers, and our stadium's already built, so you're rewriting the engineering handbook essentially, because the job's probably twice as hard. So if they feel there's a way they can do it by filling in the corners, and I know they've already released some press on that, and that seems the most likely area where they're going to start, initially would be the corner. So if they can get an extra 5,000 or 6,000 seats onto the stadium, and then I believe they've got other ideas of where else they're going to expand the stadium, and how they're going to re-engineer it. So that for me, the money just makes so much sense, Ox. And I mean that's going in. Some of that'll find its way down to the playing squad, and it'll find its way into the stadium. And as you say, atmosphere, everything else, it's a win-win-win situation. Why wouldn't you do it?
All right, come and join us. Or is it time to just have a podcast and have a chat? Or do you want to keep this as a phone-in show? Come and join us. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Here's a question for you, Ox.
Yes, I thought you were going to ask me if we beat 4-0 last night in the Midfield call.
Aye, there would be. Here's a question: you see those radio stations, and I forget the name of the ones that Bridge mentioned there, those Glasgow radio stations. I can never remember the name of them. See the Rangers fans that phone them. Why don't they phone us? They'll probably be able to get their points, because I never hear those same guys phoning any other Rangers. I don't know. Are they made up Rangers supporters?
You're a very cynical man, Jaffa. Very cynical man. I don't disagree with you. Yeah.
Andrew from Colwinning. Phone us, Andrew. We'll talk to you.
You're trying to say they get selective colours?
We don't do that, Billy. You know that, we'll let you on.
You're right there, mate. I'll tell you one thing. See, we were talking about that with the powers that be type of thing. Perfect example is, you remember last year we had all injuries, right? No, with XYZ amount of injuries at any given time, we hardly get a mention about how many players were out injured. It was all about how poor we were. That's what we're perceived as, right? Fast track it to this year. You've got them with their injuries, and it's all blah, 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 because they're not playing well. So they've got a sympathy vote for that. They love to twist things round to suit their own narratives, and it's actually laughable, eh? They think nobody can see it, but we can see it.
I'm sure we just discussed that, Billy, but keep up, eh?
Aye. Listen, you never asked me, Ox, so I just thought I'd get that in there.
I never asked you deliberately. Bridgeman.
Yes,
I've just put an offer in for one of the big screens in the corner to James Bicroft for your house.
I need a bit bigger than that.
Just put it in your man cave, Bridge.
Oh dear, don't start me. I'll say one thing. I'm watching last night and I'm thinking, look at that wee diamond up there, where the away supporters are. And I don't know if there was 12 or 13, maybe 40. Let's say there's 20.
There's 16 the minibus, wasn't there?
16 the minibus. Seriously, they've walked away with, let's say, 17,000 fans, basically. Or the money for 17,000 fans. That's not right. I don't care what everybody says. Make an effort, but for God Almighty's sake. So they come and they say, right, yeah, the fans don't want to come and they think they're going to get hammered. They get hammered. The manager's greeting because he thought one was a foul and blah, 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 blah. And all the press are saying virtually the same thing. Rangers should never have won last night.
Sure, we just discussed that. I'm sure we just discussed that with the press.
No, I'm not talking. I'm just saying this is getting the narrative that you're speaking about. That's what's happened. But they're not saying the Rangers brought in 35,000 or 45,000 or whatever it was, and they've got half of it. That's what's keeping them going.
I think we've been joined by Bob Chair. Evening, Bob Chair, the voice of reason.
Oh, you sure have been joined by me. How you doing, everyone? All right.
Yeah.
I didn't realise there was a level of criticism at the team from the press. What a surprise! I didn't buy that. I haven't bought them for years. Yeah, I thought we played quite well. You beat anybody 4-0 in the quarter-final a cup competition, you're doing well. Okay, the standard wasn't the great, so you still had to beat them. They were still there. And we did it quite convincingly in the end. So, yeah, fair play. Well done, Jers. On we go to the semis against the Jam Tarts. I don't know what we've got to do to get a claim in this league, but we all know that anyway. We all know that. So everybody will be on Aberdeen on Saturday. We can. No one likes us and we don't care. Yeah.
Bob, you're a fair man, an honest man.
I try to be, yeah.
A generous man. A nice man.
I wouldn't know about that. Uh-huh.
Bob, when do we turn the corner? Is it 4 games, 5 games?
Well, that's the biggest question that we're all asking, Alex. When do they turn the corner? There's a run of games coming up now. It's going to be thick and fast. They're going to be more difficult. You've got a couple of European games sandwiched in between, and you're reaching a line of fixtures now from my memory. We'll go them on Saturday. Then we're away to St Mirren, and I believe we're at Hamey Hibs. Is that right? Domestically?
We're home to Aberdeen, away in Cyprus on Thursday, away to St Mirren, and then it's a break.
That's right. I was talking about domestic, Will.
And then it's a break for 2 weeks, yeah?
Oh, there's a break for this international nonsense again.
Mm-hmm.
What about the fitness of the squad? Is there any news on that?
We've not picked any injuries up the night, but it's early, Jaffa.
They're on their bed, Bob, yeah. Listen, I don't think there's been any updates. I read earlier on today, Danilo, they'll talk about him being back for the 21st next month, which is the return of the international break. So that's not too far away. That's about 3-4 weeks away. So can't be far away if all going well. You know, we when he actually went out injured. And Raskin, I believe, isn't far away either. So, and obviously, if we've got Kieran Dowell back for the Aberdeen game, there's starting to be a lighten up a wee bit on the injury front, Bob Ger. But it's not. There's still too many there, isn't there? There's still the numbers are too high. And if obviously Kemar Roof went last night's injury, we don't know the update on that and what the extent of that is and how long he might be out for. But
all right, we've been joined by Big Al. Evening, Big Al.
Good evening, gentlemen. I heard your distress call for the other side of the world, so I'm phoning in like that,
wish you answered, big man, yeah?
yeah. I heard this. That's all right. Here's a question for you then, if I ask some questions. If we raised the stadium capacity for the game on Sunday to 60,000, it was all done, it was looking beautiful and that, would we have 60,000 people there to watch the state of football and watch this manager?
This weekend?
Aye.
This weekend there would be 60,000 there. There would be 60,000 now. Would there be 60,000?
It's opening day.
Huh?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're going to increase the capacity up to 60,000, we need to make sure they're playing some decent, attractive football. You want that 60,000 there every game.
Aye. You're not going to
get the figures you're talking about.
You're not going to get
I know, but you came up with the figures.
Aye.
Well, why not? If you had an exciting, vibrant team on the park, somebody that we can get behind, there's no reason you couldn't have 60. Have entertainment outside the park. There's a top product on the park. You could have 60,000. That's the. I think they'll factor that into any renovation at Ibrox. They would factor that in. I mean, you said 10,000, but the 30 quid a ticket, 65 or whatever your figures were. That's only if the stadium's full. You know what I mean?
Aye. But that's I suppose from their point of view, it doesn't matter if the stadium's full if you sell the seats out.
Aye, I know what you're saying. I do, but you're not going to have a 60,000 seater stadium with 20,000 in it. You know what I mean?
No,
that's worse. I think
they sell the seats, and how do they do that? And to the waiting list and the people that's waiting, and obviously, if it's the corners, and there'd be decent seats, so there would be good, well covered and well protected for the elements, Jeff, and there would be popular seats, sir.
I would think so, Ox. Aye. I mean, if the lower area of the Sandy Jardine Corners are, I don't know what it is in there for a season ticket, and now it's got to be £600 a year, roughly thereabouts. I would imagine. Can't be far away for that. And if it's multiplied by, if it is the 10,000, I don't think they'll quite get that amount in there. They won't be far away for it. I think it was about 3,500 a corner, so about 7,000. You can see where the numbers would stack up. But I get Al's point. I know what he's saying, and
is that taking out the Jumbotron TVs?
The Jumbotron,
TVs, yeah.
Briggs is getting one of them for his Christmas, Al.
Is he? I thought he would have had one of them in his cinema room.
I'm looking for one. Bigger than that, but
just a picture of his cell phone and the Mancini.
He's got one of them as well, mate. That's in the back wall.
Oh, the Mancini. I've seen him in the Mancini. He's lovely, isn't it? Was that him in the paper the day with the old boy bending there with a short kilt on, flashing the neighbours? Or was that Bob Chair? That's a picture of Bob Chair I've got in my head.
Yeah. Can you fit the nose in? A picture of me. He's a picture of me in the side of the house to keep burglars away.
That's a beautiful you're talking about, Bob J.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Bob J.
You need a big house to get that nose of mine on the side, yeah.
What's your take on it? Obviously, listen, you'd have to do your sums, yeah. You see what you're going to take in. You've got to borrow the money. How quickly you pay it back. Your cost to run the stadium don't increase by that much once you've done the infrastructure work. So it's all bonus revenue, yeah.
Yeah. Oh look, I'd love the corners to be filled in. I'd like to see us up about the 60,000 mark. Of course I would. That just promotes success, I think, and it shows that you are successful if you do that. I would just get rid of the Jumbotrons and have the corners filled in, whatever that takes us up to, and then maybe look at some of the old enclosures as proper standing. I was in a stadium here, and they have a standing section. I think it's like the ones in Germany. It's got the barriers and that, but not like the old enclosure had. It's proper. I found it to be great. People you can walk about, socialise. I thought it was good. So I would increase the capacity. I'd like to see the stadium, and then a bit more run about the stadium. Make it a proper destination, not just a stadium and you're there, herded in like cattle, and then you're out again. Make it a thing. The problem you do have in Scotland is the weather. So you need to have covered sections for fans to gather and make a full day event here. You know what I mean? Not just pay lip service to it. Make an actual full day event. They started that with the New Edmonton House, and I believe they have the match day entertainment. But you can go a lot further. You know what I mean? You don't need to pay a lot for that match day entertainment. You can bring in entertainers that want to make a wee name for themselves, so you can get that on the. I'm not saying on the cheap, but you can. There's ways around about it. You're not talking about getting Bon Jovi there every weekend. You know what I mean? Make entertainment, make it for the family, and introduce the young fans into it. You know what I mean? Introduce that.
I get your point, but for demand to always be there, you need a team on the park.
Aye, that's what I'm getting. I'm not having a dig. I'm kind of sick of what'll be will be with Michael Beale. I do wish him all the success, but I just didn't see it, so I'm not having a go at him. But you have to entice big names. How can I say this? Because I'm not going to hark back to the past, but I'm going to have to. What happened 12 years ago has happened. I don't want to play a victim. I'm sick of that, but we've got to attract proper players, and I think with increasing capacity, with a better managers, with increasing revenues, all that stuff, being successful on and off the park, you can do that, and then that brings the customer, it brings the fan, it brings the supporter, brings somebody just looking for a good day to the stadium and spending the blue pound. That all bodes well for the future.
It could all be positive, Billy. You know, and obviously, if you satisfy that waiting list, and you end up with another waiting list, you've got another issue, haven't you?
That's right, and it's a positive issue, isn't it? You know, if you're talking about filling in the corners and that, right, that also would create a better atmosphere as well, I believe. And I'm not saying that Ibrox has not got a good atmosphere, because we know it has. But what happens here is when you fill in the corners as well, the sound, it bounces off each other, so it lifts the intensity levels within the run, which is a great thing, and it creates a greater atmosphere by that point.
Billy.
Yes.
The word you were looking for wasn't the sound, it's the acoustics.
Acoustics, mate, aye. Acoustics.
That's the acoustics.
The acoustics are well pointed out. Well pointed out. Aye, the acoustics will be, listen, it'll be electric. Absolutely electric. You know, and as we said as well, that I think it was Jaff that touched on it, about 7,000 more season tickets. I mean, they guys are got to come in to jet. Obviously, that's more money in the Rangers pot. They're got to be spending more money on Rangers merchandise, and that money goes into the Rangers bank, which means we can possibly put it into the product back onto the park, and that's what everybody wants to see. And to touch on what you said earlier on, obviously we want to see free flowing football at Rangers. We're all agreed on that one, but the only way to do that is generate money to bring the best players that we possibly can afford to Rangers to put that product in the park. You know, so as I said, I'm all for that, mate. I'll ask you one. This is one I've thought about for years. I don't know what you think as well, Bob G. I know Rangers we've had different football strips through the years: Adidas, Nike, Castori, Umbro, for Puma, for talking sake. Do you not think when we're talking about raising the bar with bringing more supporters into the ground, do you not think we should be going down the road of making our own script?
It flopped dramatically, didn't it? Twice.
Sorry?
It flopped dramatically twice.
Yeah, but should you not be able to speculate to accumulate type thing now?
You're not listening, but it flopped dramatically twice.
Right, but surely that was then, Ox. That was then. This is now. You know what I mean? Times have changed.
That's changed?
Listen. You were talking about doing the sums or the arithmetic for different things, right? If you've got 60,000 Rangers supporters, right? I mean, they're the perfect example there today. Rangers have brought out a fourth tap this season, right? And Castori are making the profits of that, which is fair enough. I've not got any problems with that at all. But I would like to see 100% of the profits going back into Rangers. Now, as Rangers Football Club, as a brand, in my opinion, as a football brand, a football icon, surely we should be able to have our own Rangers product that we can send worldwide, and that can only be good financially for our club. That's trying to say, mate.
We've tried it twice. And at one of the time when we got involved with Admiral through David Murray, we were arguably the biggest generating club of revenue in Britain.
But I'm not getting... what I'm saying is, Ox, I'm not talking about saying we'll get involved with Admiral or somebody else. I'm talking about Rangers getting involved with Rangers.
Billy,
so I didn't think...
Billy, we owned Admiral. We owned them. And it never worked.
Well, who's to say it'll not work this time? Just because it didn't work a couple of times before doesn't mean to say it'll not work again.
How much do you think it costs to do logistics? How much do you think it does to go R&D?
Yeah, I don't know, mate. I've not got a figure on that, right? I don't know, right? I'm just putting an idea out there. I think it's time that we went on our own and looked after our own backs instead of other people. Throughout the years, different companies, blah, 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 or taking a cut off of the Rangers pound. That's what I'm saying. I think we should be looking after our own selves more. That's my main concern. That's the reason I brought that up, mate.
And you think that would guarantee to generate money, do you?
Well, is it generate? Well, listen, how much do we generate after our cut or our deal we get now? Because Story or any other bigger...
You're guaranteed money. You're not always guaranteed money if you've got to do everything. Your costs go through the roof. Explain, Jaffa. Logistics, R&D, yeah.
I think I think on the surface of it, Billy, it's a decent idea. I know that we did. I remember the Admiral transaction happening when David Murray's Hawks was saying. But I think the reality of it is, if that was a business model that worked, clubs like Man United, Liverpool, Barcelona, Real Madrid would be all over that like a rash. And they still need brand association, just like we do, Billy. And it's good to be associated with whether it be Castore or whether it be Nike or if it's New Balance, one of the up-and-coming brands. And I don't think that'll change. I think fans actually want brand association, probably most of them. If you asked, probably like it when it's Adidas or depending what your brand preference is. And that goes for a whole host of things, not just Fitbit tops. But I think the logistics, these guys like the big boys, Adidas and Castore are one of the bigger up-and-coming brands now. But I'm not quite saying that they own factories, but I absolutely do know for a fact Adidas, Nike, they all own factories manufacturing not just our tops, but a whole host of sportswear tops in China, in the factory shed of the world, which is where the majority of them are all made nowadays. And India and other far-flung places as well, abroad. So where the cotton industry and the fabrics industry still generate, big proportions of jobs. So I don't think it's anything we would get involved in any time soon. I can see he's maybe changing brand, Billy. I could see it probably won't be Adidas because of them across the city, but I could potentially see a Nike or maybe one of the other, as I said, up-and-coming brands, maybe a New Balance, maybe knocking on our door, and I take it those conversations will be getting done now. I mean, the Castore deal, Billy, we get £5 million minimum per season, and it can go up. I think it's been as high as up as £8 or £9 million. And we don't need to make any taps for that. That's just right into the coffers. And the club needs that kind of money to run. That's probably our biggest sponsorship deal, to be honest. I just think as well, Jaffa, I know you touched on Real Madrid and Manchester United just as a point there, but I think when you look at the revenue that's generated in La Liga in Spain, for talk's sake, and doing an English Premiership, and then you look at what's generated up in Scotland, it's chalk and cheese there, But I get what you're saying there, Rangers. Obviously, it's cash at the start of the season. I get that, but I just my thinking is, mate, I would love to see Glasgow Rangers saying the Rangers brand, and doing it that way. And then I know obviously you have your speculate to accumulate type of thing, but every penny that Rangers generated goes back into Rangers. And that's just the way that I looked at it,
Well, I don't mind me coming in here. I sympathise greatly with your thoughts. These are the thoughts we had when we ended up getting Admiral and so on and so forth. And they were great thoughts at that time. We thought we were going to make a lot of money, and we did make a lot of money, as it was pointed out. Probably the highest selling shirts in UK, if not Europe. Amazing sales of shirts. But the days have changed, and you can see what's happening all over the world with these things. Castore are with us now. They've done a lot for us, and we've done a lot for them, for sure. But I don't think we're going to be with them much longer. I think there's a lot of folk being a bit unhappy with them. But they need to get obviously another brand that will do that, and that could be an Adidas or a Nike or something like that coming in. But they need the figures. Rangers need to show them the figures. This is what we do, and blah blah blah. Because we're worldwide now, absolutely worldwide. And
our next deal will be a better deal, Billy, because we were in absolutely no position to negotiate. Al, you're on the other side of the world. You know, people are buying football strips online all the time, yeah.
Online, but like when you talk about this brand thing, I can't go into a shop here. They have a couple of big sporting department store things here. I can't walk in and buy a Rangers strip, but I can walk in and buy the other side of the city strip, there and everywhere. So that footprint thing that we all go on about, you know, World Cup, yeah, to a certain extent, but I can go in and get a Man City, I can go in and get a Barcelona, AC Milan, even I've seen Porto, Benfica one, you know, like all the kind of big names and that, and I can buy one of their rags if I felt like it, you know what I'm saying? So there has to be a bit of work done on that. Maybe, I think, maybe taking a phrase out of your book, Ox, Billy, I think you need to do your homework, pal. That's a wee bit of tongue in cheek. No, like I'm saying, it's maybe that footprint, recognisable walk-in. See, the thing with me, I remember seeing a thing years ago, like AC Milan, Juventus, Barcelona, they didn't change their home strip that much. You can wear a strip for the 60s and it's similar to the strip that they're wearing now. We seem to change our strip constantly. I know it's blue, but it changes. I think, and you look at because that creates that logo thing, you know. You see even any wee bit of green and white or green and grey. The first thing I think that's, even if it's no one of their taps, that's them. So that's a brand association thing. I think that's a thing we need to look at. And I seen a picture the other day there as well with the Rangers with the red, white, and blue stripe, which I thought was a nice looking top, something like that. That new one they brought out, I'm not too keen on it. And as I say, the strips they always seem to change. I know they're blue, but they always change. I'd like something that you can say that for now or 20 years time, that's a Rangers strip. You know what I mean? If that kind of makes sense.
You're coming from, just trying to see if I can find any of the money we make compared to our brand strips.
When does the cash draw finish?
2024 it ends, mate, I think.
All right, so right, okay, so you're right there, and we've got that guy. It
was a 5-year deal.
He's
and obviously, it was a 5-year deal.
That's 25 million.
Aye, potentially, and maybe more. So obviously, we've had the European final. We're way above the figures. And now at the time, we need negotiating power because we had no figures.
I understand.
Yeah, we're in a far different place. But I'm just trying to find out if I can find out how much we sell in the branded Rangers stuff in the show.
Some of that's not that good, though. Like
exactly, mate, because to get that right costs money, because all the R&D stuff is done collectively. Well, unless you're Aston Villa.
We've got cracking. We have... Sorry, but we have got cracking heritage in regards to badges and symbols that they can be put on top. So I'd be more than happy to walk about with. But some of it's no, you know, like some of the old badges, like the badges on the side, the polos with that, not too big, but you can make them look decent. I'm not saying kind of maybe more street casual wear. You know what I'm saying? Some of the stuff is just like a badge put on a t-shirt. It's not the best.
It'd be interesting to see.
And I'd rather pay more money for something that's 100% kind of gone back to Rangers than Castor. I would rather do that. You know what I mean? Buy polo tops or t-shirts or tracky tops that were Rangers related than just with the Castor badge on it and flung a Rangers badge on it.
That's what a lot of them do, innit? I mean, a lot of the football strips are the same for the season, and then it's just different badges that's on them, Jaffa.
Absolutely. You know, I think what Al said there's an absolutely brilliant point. I mean, talk about hitting the nail right on the head. He's right. You know, you see their top, and it's iconic. That we need to get back to that heritage. The design guys, Jim Bisgrove, should be all over that. And absolutely creating a top that is iconic through this decade, the next decade. And so that when the kids pick it up and we all go and look, that's a Rangers top. You don't need to ask twice, you don't need to look. and then build the brand round about that. But, you know, whoever that supplier may be, whether it be Adidas or Nike or whoever, you know, but that's your top, and we, you know, you can vary it slightly, but we want it to, if you blink with your eyes and open them back up, we want you to go, that's a Rangers top. We want the colour to be the same shade. I know it's repetitive, but that's what works, and we've got some great stuff.
Talking about tops, who likes the fourth strip? Billy?
No for me, mate. No for me. I think whoever designed it got their missus to stand and hold the material up and show the red and white blue paint for the front door. No for me, mate. I didn't like that one.
Jaffa?
Ox, I'm not going to lie, I haven't seen it yet.
Right, okay, well, I'll send you a picture. Imagine coming on a Rangers radio show and not doing your homework.
Listen, I've been at my work today.
I'm not going to comment on that. Right, okay. Have you seen it, Big Al?
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah. I can't look at it's. I don't wear football tops, but it's just one of the things. But it's just the fact that it's a fourth strip coming out. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Type of thing. That's the kind of galling part that sticks in my craw about it. But nah, I mean, all right. Think
bringing a fourth strip out in the run up to Christmas, Bridgeman. Would that be the thoughts?
Bang on. I think we've seen, I don't know how many strips we've released in the last few years, but it must be over 20 now, you know, and Rangers are making a bomb on all of them. And 100% agree with Big Al. You're looking for a strip that is completely iconic with only Rangers, if you know what I mean. If you walk into a shop, there's a Rangers strip, you know. That's the idea we're looking for, to get all the marketing done for the same thing. I think Rangers need to go that way. I don't think they're going to be able to do it now. That should be the target. And for goodness sake, get the shops open wherever you can. Get the shops open.
I don't think that'll happen, Rich.
I don't think so. That's what I'm trying to say. There's lots of these things that could be done, and whether they'll happen or no, I don't know.
Retail's dying, Bridge. Things are changing.
Well, I know, pal. I know.
You know.
But I'm not talking about just retail in the UK. I'm speaking about abroad, because some places retail is still big. You know, just incredible.
You know, get the tops in shops, but no open shops, mate. That's a cost.
No, so I do apologise. I didn't mean just doing this. And we've only got two or three shops. We need to expand that. No matter what happens, we need to expand that. But we need to get footprint inside some of the big distributors of the strips. And I don't know, we ended up with Sports Direct. We don't want anything like that. But wherever they are in Australia and New Zealand, there's a lot of Rangers fans over there. But they're obviously, based on Big Al says, it's very difficult to get a hold of the strip, you know. So we need to do something in there. It'll take years to get it in there, but I hope they get it done.
Strategically placed retail outlets would be handy, because same again the other week I was looking in the paper, there was an incident at Glasgow Airport, and what was in the background, I don't know if it was meant to be there or it wasn't, but it was a bit of advertisement, because my eyes came after the story and looked at that disgrace in the background. So strategically placed shops would be ideal. No,
they're always
of them,
strategically placed. I'm sure they've got a big photo to just move into the front of the camera.
You know what I'm talking about. But
Absolutely.
I'm just saying that Glasgow and Edinburgh Airport, I don't see why there wouldn't be, because we're the Scottish-British club. You come to the UK, you want to take a bit of merchandise home, we promote Glasgow Rangers, you know what I mean, or Rangers.
Was that Thompson Solicitors that was advertising? Oh.
I can't remember what the story was. It was next to a child's playground, actually, when I think about it.
How apt.
Castle.
Right. Bob, have you seen, I know you're not a man for strips now. Have you seen it? I don't know how you would describe it.
I've never seen it. I just heard about it yesterday. I've never seen it. I'm the least business-minded out you all, but it's fantastic listening to you all about it. You're just a big McDaniel's football club. It's got to generate revenue for itself. And Strips is, Strips is the one way for to do it. We all care that youngsters, and you rightly say it's coming up to Christmas, and they're going to be at the mums and dads for to buying them a strip. But I think the Rangers strip is just changing description a bit too often. We are a tradition, eh? The Royal Blue strip does me all the time. The last time I had a strip on, I was in Glenorchy, but there you go. That's me. Yeah.
Did you enjoy your stay then?
I did enjoy my stay and the food was good. No, I'm only kidding. I've never been there. I was only on there playing at football, but it's not a nice place, by the way. But we've got to find different, no different ways. We've got to find a way to generate income for the club all the time. And then any time the club does something for to generate income, I'll get behind it. I'll probably go out and buy the strip for my grandson or something. So that's just basically the way it works. But I've never seen this new strip. I've heard about it. I'm just in the belief that it's happened too.
Well, gentlemen, we've reached that time of the evening. Big Al.
Oh,
thanks, big man.
Aye, thank you.
Yeah.
Aye, have a nice evening, gentlemen.
Yep, catch you soon, Biggin. Bob,
cheers, Al.
Right, take care.
Mate.
Take care, mate.
always a pleasure. Thank you. Fantastic discussion. Well done, guys.
Cheers, mate. Billy.
Thanks for having us on, Ox. Thoroughly enjoyed the show, mate. It's good to be on with yourself, Jaffa, and the young fella in the corner there, the bridge man. Looking forward to the sheep game at the weekend, and let's hope we can get another 3 points, Ox. Thanks very much, pal.
Whenever you're into that. Jaffa.
Yep, great discussion, Ox. Thanks for having me on the show. Great to be on with Billy and Bridge and Big Al and Bob. Always great to hear Bob Jeff phoning in, and thanks to yourself, mate, for having me on. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Bridgeman.
Well, what can I say? Another marvellous night, Ox. Well done to yourself, and of course your techie guys in the background there, Foxy and Terry. Brilliant stuff, and of course a huge shout out to Jaffa and Billy Boy for looking after me on the show. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, this weekend's game, biggest game of the season. Every week it's happening, and they're coming thick and fast. Biggest game of the season. So everybody keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers need us. This is going to be a huge game. Aberdeen at Ibrox. I'll be there. Keep it going for Rangers. Keep it going.
Yeah. Thanks to Bob Jer and Big Al for taking the time to join us. Bridgeman, Jaffa and Billy for doing the show. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. And the feature you've all been waiting for, the Southside Super 6. Take it away, Old School Blue.